Our guest could not fit the model and mode of America more, in our opinion. It is Jeff Judkins. You own horses, you own trucks, you're a basketball guy, hoops. You love this country, Coach. Welcome to our Independence Day celebration.
I really do love this country, and I had the lucky fortune to go play in the World Games and represent the United States, and we had a pretty good team. Larry Bird was on that team, and we ended up beating Russia for the gold medal. And so I still have that gold medal, think about it all the time and how proud I was to be an American.
You strike me as a guy that may be into 4th of July and fireworks. You got any big plans for the 4th tomorrow?
Well, I have basketball camp tomorrow. Well, you guys are enjoying it. We'll have some time tomorrow night after camp. We're going to probably have a barbecue, and I do like watching fireworks. I think my mom and dad at a young age took me down to Liberty Park, where a lot of fireworks back those days, and I kind of got that bug a little bit. And then I have a son-in-law that used to, I guess, shoot off fireworks. I don't know what the right...
Like design like the program?
The whole program and do it.
Oh, wow.
And it was unbelievable how much time it took for him to do that. And so I've kind of have a little bit of that, I kind of like the celebration. It really is probably one of the only holidays that a basketball coach can enjoy. And I got camp tomorrow, but it's one of those holidays that you really take advantage of.
Jeff Judkins with us on BYU Sports Nation. It is Independence Week in Studio B. And like you said, the work goes on. In fact, you are currently searching for some new assistant coaches. Where do you stand in the hiring process as you said goodbye to Dan Nielsen and Ashley Garfield?
Well, it's tough to replace people when you've had them for a long time, but I'm really excited for Dan. And he's wanted to be a head coach, and he's worked hard and done what he needs to do to try to get that position. And there's no doubt in my mind he will do a great job at Utah Valley. Ashley, I had for 4 years and coached her, and there's nobody that works harder and really cares about basketball and has a great mind herself. She was just getting to feel real comfortable, and I think she'll be a great asset for Dan. The process at BYU takes a long, long time. It goes through applications, and of course there's been a lot of great applications, and I go through that, and then I narrow it down, and then it goes through other parts of BYU, the HR, and make sure everything is fine. I'm hoping next week to be able to have that completed. It just takes that long with interviews and everything going on. And, it's tough. This is probably the hardest part of my job, is to call a coach who really is a great coach and say, I'm sorry, I'm going a different direction, because there's so many good coaches. But somebody told me the other day, isn't it nice to have that good of people that have applied that want to go into coaching at BYU? And I look at it and I go, yeah, I guess I really am blessed to really have that.
One of the things that obviously occupies your time when you're not in the season is recruiting. I'm curious what the response has been from players you've talked to after this season. Obviously, you look at the program as a whole, but a lot of it's recency bias, and they're going to see what you just did most recently. You guys had a really nice season, a great season, and a really nice run in the NCAA tournament. How was that factored into the recruiting process?
There's no question that success in the NCAA and success being on social media makes a difference when you walk into a gym. I never realized how much BYUtv, how many people watch our games until I go away from Utah. And referees to fans to players, they all see us on TV. And that recognition, I think, really helps us with our program, because I really believe this. If we can get a recruit on campus, we have a pretty good shot at getting them, and that's really what the key is. And so having a young team, I think we're really excited and about the future. But, things can kind of give you a little bit of wave, and you have to be really careful. But my team, we've really focused this summer on, we're not satisfied, and we want to do more. We want to be able to win a conference and be able to go to the NCAA tournament and go farther in the tournament. So I saw one of your things you were saying, what's more important, the red-white game and all that. Football, there's no question. The Utah football game is by far the most important game to them, period. For us, the Utah game is really important because it sets the tone for recruiting in the state. But I can't say that Gonzaga and the conference is not important too. And so it's kind of different in every sport. I think you look at every sport at BYU and you say, what is the most important? There's no question that Utah game, that rivalry game is important. And if people say it isn't, they're crazy, because it is. You're constantly hearing all the time. So, those are important games.
We talked about 8 years of West Coast Conference inclusion for BYU athletics yesterday, and BYU women's basketball has had several memorable moments since you joined the WCC, going back to that first conference tournament championship against the aforementioned Gonzaga. Of course, you had that Sweet 16 run in 2014 and what you did last year. So in your opinion, women's basketball specific, what's the top moment since BYU women's basketball has been in the West Coast Conference?
I would say two games stick out to me. When we got in the league, Gonzaga was undefeated for 3 straight years. And they came the first year, and they came to BYU, and they had a really good team, and we beat them by 30. And I think we set the tone for the league that they could be beat. And that year, of course, we won the tournament. We beat Gonzaga again in the tournament. There's no doubt the Sweet 16 team of what we did and what we accomplished. We didn't win the tournament, but we had a great season, and we, I think, really made the conference strong. And then, of course, there's no question this year beating Gonzaga at Gonzaga. It's the only team I have not beaten on the road, and it was a big game for us. And to be able to come in and play like we did and win that game was probably the 3 biggest. I really think we've changed the Western Coast with BYU coming in there. The first year we didn't win the all-round sports. We've won it ever since, and we've dominated it. So I think we've made a big difference in this conference, and our conference is a very strong conference. We're in the women's basketball, people don't realize we're number 7 RPI in the country.
Wow. And
now with UConn leaving and going the Big East, it's going to make it a little bit harder. But we passed the Big East this year, so I think our conference is really going up. And then volleyball, as you well know, with what Heather's done, has been amazing. And Jennifer with soccer. I mean, we've really changed this conference, and I'm excited for the men's basketball. I think Mark is really, fired up to really do something in this conference. So should be another great year.
One of the other reasons, which again, there are many as to why you are a great American, is because you're a sports fan and you follow a lot of different sports.
Correct.
I wanted to get your opinion on the NBA and specifically Jimmer. Jimmer right now playing in the NBA Summer League with the Golden State Warriors, and we've talked a lot about whether or not that's a good fit, whether from a system perspective or the fact that Golden State needs to fill some roster spots. What do you think about Jimmer and the Golden State Warriors? Do you think there's a chance he could make that roster?
There's no question. Jimmer, in my opinion, is good enough to play in the league. I think what happens, and it's really sad that this happens sometimes, but I see it over and over, they get a rap, and they never can get rid of that. And his rap when he got in the league is he couldn't guard anybody. Well, there's a lot of guys that can't guard anybody in that league.
Truth.
Okay?
Truth bombs from Juddy.
And so I don't know. I know right now that the game is being 3-point spread out, one-on-one kick it. And he's got to get on a team that the offense is around that where he can be able to do it. And hopefully the person that does that penetration is a person that's not the point guard. Leonard, LeBron James, James Harden, maybe Mitchell. I mean, people that can get to the basket that aren't strictly point guards, where he can fit. Kind of like, I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy in Toronto, the point guard that hit a lot of shots.
Lowry?
Fred VanVleet.
Yeah. That's the kind of guy I think Jimmer could be if he gets in a team like that, because there's no doubt in my mind he shoots as good as anybody. And if he gets on that team, and it's just getting that break and getting on that right situation is what makes you sometimes and breaks you. And he's so talented. I mean, I still, to this day, I don't know if anybody's had a better senior year than that guy had in college.
incredible. He was the National Player of the Year because of that season.
Yeah.
Jimmer's got his own signature shoe based with 361 basketball in China. And your own Shaylee Gonzalez is big into sneakers, and she's making her own custom shoes and ordering things. If Jeff Judkins had a signature shoe, what would it be? What would it look like?
What would the Juddy look like?
The Juddy look like would be comfortable first. Not what it looks like at all. Just comfort.
We're
And
talking about a casual shoe here?
yeah. And then something, I guess, sharp, not like a lot of different, just a simple, sharp shoe. So it probably for me it'd be a pony stripe, because that's what I wore. That was a big show I wore. Pony striped, simple, but really nice, sharp color, you know?
High top?
High top for
yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is there somewhere out there where there's a royal blue pony shoe with just a white pony stripe?
I don't know. If somebody's got that, I will wear it at the game.
Yes.
I will wear it.
The Juddy.
The
you know what's
The Juddy won. The Juddy won.
The Juddy one. I like that. But, Shaylee is pretty creative, and it doesn't surprise me one bit that she does something like that.
Yeah, she's a sneakerhead for sure.
Yeah, she is, that girl.
All right, we're searching the interwebs for the Juddy one.
See if we can get it.
Is Pony even still a brand
We'll
right
find
now?
that out.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But, Nike can do it for me, too. I'll do Nike. I love Nike's logo.
Sure.
I think it's simple, and that's how I like things.
A royal blue Air Force One high top.
That's right. That's what I want.
Let's go. Juddy, it's great to talk to you.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for being here.
Happy 4th of July.
Yes.
Yeah, you too. Have fun at Stadium Fire.
We're watching the fireworks from a distance.
I like that.
Thanks, Juddy.